Let's now have a look at the Python implementation of the genetic algorithm. The code which is taken here, the source again here. So through the link you can have a look at the original code. I modified the code to include the minimization of HiMeBlue function, which we are all knowing about. And the solution to that is x1 equal to 3 and x2 equal to 2. And since it is a minimization problem in the code, I have make negated it to make it a maximization problem. So if you look at the portion where the function is written, so this is where the imblue function is written, you will find that I'm returning the negative value. So that's take care of converting the problem from a minimization problem to a maximization problem. Now okay, this gives you the plot of the function. So this is x1 variable, this is x2 variable. The minima lies at the point x1 equal to 3, x2 equal to 2. And the three-dimensional plot looks as of this function looks like this, and we are searching in the boundary x1 and x2 both in the range of 0 to 5. So those are the limits of our search. Let's look at how this code proceeds. So we'll go to the main function which does the calculation. So this is where the main function begins. So we are initializing that number of generation is 500. That is, I'm doing this for 500 number of iterations. Initially, I will create a random generation. So for that, there is a routine, and the population size of my generation is 75 numbers. So each generation will have 75 individuals or 75 solutions which are obtained, and each solution is within bounds of x1 within 0 to 5 and x2 also within 0 to 5. Once you do that, this is the loop where the generations take place, and the main code where the new population is formed by applying the three operators, that is reproduction, crossover and mutation, are given by this particular code. So that is the heart of this particular algorithm. So we'll see how this is formed. So let's go to this routine. So this routine is given in this part of the code. So the input to this routine is the previous generation. Once you get the older generation values, first sorting is done to sort the members of the generation in terms of their fitness. Then to calculate the proportionate, to apply the proportionate collectiveness, you find the sum of their fitnesses. And then for each member of your population, you choose the first parent and the second parent by the roulette wheel procedures. And then the offspring is formed by passing on this first parent and second parent to the function of crossover. Once the crossover is done and individual is formed, that individual is subjected to mutation, and the new individual with mutated values, again, if it is 5%, whatever probability I'm setting there, so to that probability value, the individual will either get mutated, its string values will get mutated or not mutated, and the next generation is appended with the new offspring. So you'll do this for entire population size. So finally you will get new generation which is having in this case, since my population size is 75, you will get 75 new offsprings will be formed by this particular procedure. Now let's look at the three routines, that is the reproduction routine or selection routine, the crossover routine, and the mutate routine individually. So we'll first look at the choice by roulette, which is the selection algorithm. Okay, so this is the choice by roulette algorithm. So you will get here the input as the sorted population and a fitness sum. So it calculates, it first takes care if the values are negative, then how it is to be sorted out, because you may land up in zero sum and then division by zero error. To avoid that, some precautions are done. You draw any number between 0 to 1. So draw is any random number between 0 to 1. And then for each individual, you will find the probability corresponding to that member by taking ratio of fitness to the normalized fitness sum. And if the draw is less than the accumulated uh, probability, then that individual is selected, otherwise it is not selected. So this is the how the roulette wheel analogy for selection works. So at the end it returns the individual if it passes this criteria, otherwise it will move on to the next population. So that is how you will be doing. So you'll select two parents for passing on to the mating pool by using this particular routine. And once those parents are formed, the next option is to do the crossover. So let's look at the crossover routine. The crossover routine begins here. So we are giving the two parents their strings as an input to this particular routine. We convert these strings into the binary strings. So we using this routine, we convert them into binary string, and then we choose the random site for doing the crossover. So that is where K is the site where the crossover is to happen. And then we are interchanging the genes in this loop to get the value of the offspring. So that is how it will be done. So that will be done once for x1 variable and next time for the x2 variable. So that is where you will get the offsprings, and it will return the offspring, the new child for x1 variable and new child for the x2 variable. So that completes the crossover. Next we'll have to do the mutation. So this particular routine will be followed by the mutation routine. So the mutation routine is given here. The probability of mutation in this particular case I'm considering as 0.005. So that corresponds to 0.5%. So I'm considering only 0.5% of the cases the mutation will happen. So we'll see later if by changing this parameter what differences we'll get. So this is an important parameter for this particular problem where changing this largely influences your solution. So you get the each individual, that is offspring which is formed, so that is passed on to this routine. You get the strings for its x1 variable and x2 variable. Here you are choosing the probability whether that offspring is to be mutated or not to be mutated. So you choose any random number between 0 to 1, and if that number happens to be less than the probability of mutation, which is 0.05. So we'll choose any number between 0 to 1. If that number happens to be less than 0.005, then you will do the mutation. So in the mutation, the bits are reversed. So that is the procedure given here. So by doing the NOT operation, you are converting 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Same process you repeat for the Y variable, and then you return the mutated. If the mutation has happened, then the mutated versions of the offsprings will be passed back. So this process of reproduction, crossover, and mutation are done for each of the population member, or from the mating pool it will be done, and you will get finally the new population which will be formed at the end. So the next generation will be formed. If you look at the output of this particular program for the last generation, so these each of the line indicates a member of population. So in the last, that is a 500 generation, you will find that few members are having very off from. So for example, if you take this member, our ideal solution is 3 2, but this particular member is very much off. Its objective function value is far away from 0. So in genetic algorithm, not entire population converges to a single number. Because of the mutation, some of the members may get very off values. So that is what is seen. And the best member in the last population is listed below. So the best member, as you can see here, is x equal to 3.03, y equal to 1.89, and objective function is as given here. So as you can see, this should have been 2.00. This is somewhat okay, but this is still far off. So if you take more number of generations, you will find that the solution will converge to it. Also, again, if I take for the same parameters a new run, as is the characteristic of stochastic methods, you will get a different answer. So few times for the same parameters, I got near exact solution for the minima. The printout are taken just to display that the variation can be there. Okay, so so that gives you an overview about how this particular routine works, or how the genetic algorithm is implemented in Python. Before we close, we will look at the influence of the mutation function. So if you do mutation for large number of specimens, that is, if you increase the probability of mutation and if you decrease the probability of mutation, what influence it has, we will see in terms of an animation. So in order to visualize how the generations propagate from previous one to the new one, I've written a code here which does the creation of an animation file which shows you how the generations are propagating from first to last generation. We'll see these animated videos for three values of the mutation probabilities, and that will give you some good insight into the behavior of genetic algorithm. So the first file we'll look into is where the probability of mutation is kept as 0.5%. So in this case, as you can see, as the number at the top gives you the generation number, and as the generation progresses, you will find that most member of the population, they are concentrated near the minima, the global minima, and there are few outliers which are because of the mutation, mostly because of the mutation. Now, if you increase, so this is we are at the 300 generation, so you'll find that even as you are moving towards the end, there are still number of mutations are there. So there are some members which are very much away from the global minima, but most of the population is moving towards the global minima. Okay, let's have look at the animation where the probability is reduced to 0.05%. That is one tenth of what we saw previously. So as you can see here, as we have reduced the probability of mutation, very few mutations will occur, and most of the specimens, they will gravitate towards the global optima, and there are very few mutations. So we are out of 500, we are at mid of the total generations, and the almost all have converged to the global minima. So that is what we can observe here. And it may appear that this is the good strategy, but what happens is that in this case, although the minima obtained by this solution is converged towards a particular point, that point in general observed not to be the global minima. It is having more error than what we get in case of higher probability. And on the other side, if you increase the probability, so instead of 0.5%, if you make it 5%, then you will find that the there is too much chaos in the solution. So let's have a look at a solution where we are making the probability of mutation equal to 5%. So this is the animation where the probability of mutation is 5%. As you can observe here, that continuously the population is moving, is diverging from the global optima. So few of the solutions, so few of the population members may be towards the global optima, but you will have, in general, the solution is not converging, or the population members are not converging. So this gives you some idea as to, similarly for other members, like the size of population or the number of generations, you can play with them and study. It is interesting to study how the genetic algorithm responds to various change in the parameters. To summarize, the we have seen the some features of the evolutionary algorithms. The genetic algorithm is one of them. We have seen how the genetic algorithm works and how it compares with the traditional methods. We have seen the most powerful feature of genetic algorithm is that it is a population based method, and it retains the intelligence or the information gained in the previous generation. So that gives advantage to this method. It is stochastic, so the output may vary from one run to other run, but in general it works for, it is a robust method and it works for a large variety of engineering optimization problems. So that is the strength of this particular method. It also works for mixed as well as real variable problems. Another thing that we have seen in this session is the details of the genetic algorithm. So it essentially, at the core of this algorithm are the three operators. The first one is reproduction or the selection, where from your population you select mating pool which are having strong fitness values. The next is the crossover operator, which takes care of generating the new offsprings by swapping or by interchanging the information between the parent strings or the parent solutions. And finally, the importance of mutation. So mutation is the third operator which takes care of bringing in the diversity or not allowing the solution to get locked into certain minima or certain positions. So using these three operators, we have seen that it works beautifully for the problem that we have often referred in this particular course, that of the minimization of the Himeblu function. So it works pretty well and gives you good option, a good solution. And we have seen how I'm giving you the Python code, which you can study and see how, play with that code, and you can understand how this genetic algorithm works in practice. So I thank you for your time, and we'll meet next time. So bye till then.